if there's anything different than what you've said, is there one thing that you would say, if I could bottle this up and pour it over all of our clients for them to immediately see results in their, in their time, in their team, in their business overall, is there anything different you would say? Or is it mostly about where they're spending their time and if they're getting outdoors? Is there anything different?
I feel like you're reading my mind or something. Mind reader, what's going on here? Because when I finished my comment, I was like, oh, I wish I had said this. And then you asked a question that leads me right into it.
Well, that's awesome.
It's amazing.
Welcome to the Sold Out Sales Podcast, the podcast that will equip both the seasoned sales professional and the more reluctant seller with mindset shifts and strategies needed to succeed in a competitive marketplace.
Hello and welcome to the Sold Out Sales Podcast. I am so excited to see each of you all. Even though I may not see you, I still see you. And today we have my dear friend and amazing client, Nadine Nicholson, with us today. So if you didn't get a chance to check her out before, I'm going to invite you to listen to episode 5. We are rebroadcasting it just so that you can hear what she had to say then and then catch up with us this week for this episode. Nadine, thanks for coming back and hanging out with me.
Thanks for inviting me. It's my pleasure to be here.
Absolutely. So last time we had you, I asked you this question, and just because I know there are so many interesting things about you, I'm going to ask it again. What is one different thing that we are not going to read about on your bio, on your website? We're not going to find it anywhere on social. Tell us something about you we need to know.
Oh my gosh. I'm not sure if this is on my bio yet, but I am about to start nature and forest therapy guide training, certification training. So it's something I love to do. I love taking women entrepreneurs out into nature on the trail and helping them get clarity about their businesses and their lives. And this certification is something that I've wanted to do for years. So I'm just about to start it.
Wow, that is exciting. I did not know that. That's fantastic. Congratulations.
Thank you. I'm very excited, very inspired.
Well, interestingly, I have this question for much later, but I'm going to pop it in now since you brought that up. Help us understand, because I know you called it wild wisdom, right? Getting out into nature. So help us understand what's the importance of it and how might it impact our sales and our business success?
Oh my gosh, how much time do we have for this podcast interview? Because, my husband, Derek, and I, we partner in all things. We're about to launch our first book, and it's called Impossible Freedom. But I already know the next book and what it's going to be, and it's going to be called Wild Wisdom. So I'm already starting it and putting some thoughts together for it, and that's how important it is. It is incredibly essential for every human being, I believe, especially business owners. And what it is it's think of your inner wisdom, your inner knowing, your inner compass. I believe that I call it wild wisdom because I believe that getting out into nature is the shortcut to your inner knowing, your deepest, truest, most honest inner knowing. You're able to find that and see that in nature. And that's why it's so important. What was the second part of your question? Remind me.
How does it impact our business success and our sales?
Oh my gosh, it is. People might be listening to this and thinking, yeah, I like getting into nature. I love the great outdoors. I love that. But Nadine, tell me how this connects to my business, which is what you're asking. Right in this day and age, we are so overwhelmed and inundated by technology, by information overload, by politics, by, noise, by external opinions and expectations and obligations. We literally are so not centered right now in our society.
Yeah.
And so what Wild Wisdom does, it's a practice of actually using nature, getting outside and using nature as a core, I say, your number one business strategy. And by being able to do this and to be able to tap into your inner wisdom, your inner knowing, not your fears, not your lacks, not your worries, not your self-doubts. I'm talking about your inner conviction, your inner knowing, your intuition. This is a shortcut. By being in nature, you are able to make those decisions, those choices from your inner knowing, your inner conviction. And that has a direct positive correlation on you having more confidence in your business, making better decisions, not getting stuck in fear, lack, not enough. It's the shortcut to truly much more momentum and growth in your business than you could ever have seen before.
I love that so much. And I'm and it's interesting. I wasn't always an outdoors person, by the way. I don't know if you know that, but I was not, but I definitely am now. And I completely feel what you're saying. If you had to tell someone, on average, when should they be thinking about, okay, I need to get out of this office, get out of these four walls and actually go on a walk or go for a hike or just go sit, on in a park somewhere? What would you say on average for an entrepreneur or a successful business owner? What should they be thinking about from a scheduling perspective?
Well, I'm going to say the minimum to start there, and we can build from there. The minimum would be 30 minutes a day.
Wow. Yeah.
And I'll tell you why it's 30 minutes. Because if you think about, you heard my Canadian accent. I bet everybody, I don't know if you know I'm from Canada. I said about. I'm just cognizant of that. A lot of people listening to this be like, she's from Canada.
Yeah.
And I do live by the Canadian Rocky Mountains, which I'm very blessed to live in Calgary, Alberta, by Banff, by the Canadian Rockies. But back to your question. The reason I say 30 minutes is because when your nervous system is discombobulated, and let's face it, most of the time our nervous systems are, it takes 20 minutes to get settled and grounded, a minimum of 20 minutes. So think about it. If you've ever had a disagreement with a loved one, maybe a partner of yours, or a sibling or something, and then you have that feeling of feeling flooded by, triggered, flooded, where you just like, maybe your chest is tight, you just can't think clearly, and you probably should take a break, or else it's nothing good's gonna happen. Right. That's when your nervous system is flooded. Now, most business owners these days are flooded pretty much all the time.
Yeah.
And it's a low grade flood, right? Like it's a over functioning kind of flood.
Right.
So by getting into nature for 30 minutes, you get past that, like just 20 minutes just to get your nervous system settled down and grounded and centered. And then you get an extra 10 minutes of some, bonus support that you'll notice makes a big difference. So that's the minimum, Tish. I could, map out a little bit about what I would recommend in terms of a daily flow. That's what I would say is the minimum.
I love that. What's interesting, I'm a morning person, but there are definitely mornings where I might wake up and want to lay a little bit longer or whatever. I'm like, let me get out and, take my walk. I've never, ever gotten into my walk and said, man, I'm so sorry I did this. I'm always so glad I got up, so glad that I went outside and spent that time in the morning. And I love conversation when I'm working, but I really love having that time by myself. So I completely hear you. And I think that that's 100% true for sure.
Yeah. Well, the morning is the ideal time to go, actually.
Yeah.
For everybody who's listening.
Yeah.
If you get up in the morning, brush your teeth, you get dressed, have a bit of breakfast, and then to go out for 30 minutes for a walk. And if you can find kind of a consistent walk that you can do every morning. I have a loop that I do.
Yeah.
It's 30 minutes and I can go either direction depending on how I feel. But a 30-minute walk first thing in the morning. And I got to tell you, if you have the ability wherever you live or wherever you work from, that you could walk and not take your phone, I can just hear the gasps.
I know.
Some people listening, what? I'll take my phone. And maybe there are people listening who really truly need a phone to be with them for safety purposes.
Yeah.
But if you have the ability to be able to walk out, take a key, lock the door, and you know the walk, right? You know it's going to be 20 to 30 minutes long.
Do it.
I got do it.
Yeah.
Because you actually will realize how much freedom you feel when you are not tethered to that phone.
Yeah.
And you actually will likely get such rejuvenation and renewal from not having that phone with you.
You
So
know,
I love going out without my phone.
I love that. And I spent so many years using, earbuds, listening to something while I walked in. It's probably been a good 3 years now that I probably accidentally forgot to put my headphones in. And I was like, oh my God, I love this. So now I'm like, I just want to I don't need any noise. I don't need any music. I don't need anything else. I just want to be outside, for me with the sun and the hearing the birds and all of those various things. Love it, love it, love it so much. So I want to ask you, first of all, for those who have not taken the time yet to listen to your previous episode, just catch us up. Tell us a little bit about what it is that you and Derek do. And then I have a question for you that'll probably tie right into what you're about to say.
Yeah, so Derek and I are executive leadership coaches for female founders and CEOs, and I specialize in time. I call myself a time architect. Derek specializes in team and calls himself a team architect. And what we do is we work with women, entrepreneurs, business owners who have impressive businesses, right? They're being told, oh, you have such a great business, but inside they feel, their calendar is slammed. There's too much on their shoulders, too much responsibility, way too much. They really have little time for their own lives, and they're at the place where they're just not willing to sacrifice their personal freedom for their business success anymore. But the challenge is they've had so much success, like it's a sign of success to get where they are, that feeling of looking up the mountain and thinking, well, this is unsustainable. They don't know what to do differently or how to lead differently. It's a very difficult, challenging stage to be in, to look down and think, I've had so much success, I don't want to lose it, and to look up and think this is completely unsustainable. So that's the kind of person we work with, and we help them completely change how they lead their time, their team, and their business so that they get personal freedom at the center of their business model and calendar, and exponentially grow their revenue at the same time.
I love that. If you can share, anything that comes to mind, what's one thing? You do many things, I know, but what's one thing that helps people, at the very least, Nadine, kind of look up and say, oh my God, you're right. When you begin to work with them and they're in that place of, I can't continue to do this, or I don't love this anymore. I don't even know if I want to continue to do this. And they realize that there's a way out, or there's a different way of doing it. What's one of the things that you all do that help them to have that realization?
Oh, that's such a good question. I was thinking about this yesterday, actually. What is one of the most important things and most practical things that we do that help our clients? So it's this. In the first month of working together, we focus on time and team, and time always comes first, because we need to look at how are they spending their time. Our calendars don't lie. They're very clear with how we're spending our time. And once we can get that clarity, then we move on to team and what kind of team support they need. So what we do is an exercise where I help our clients really do a brain dump of everything that's on their plate, both personally and professionally. And then I walk them through an assessment. It's very simple and powerful, but very, very few people do this. And I walk them through, well, they do it with us, but I mean, other people don't do this. I walk them through this, and what we determine is how much time and energy are they in their natural genius. What is their natural genius? It's what we call their natural genius. It's what they are most passionate about. It's what they love doing. It is what they are most uniquely skilled at. And it's what drives the most revenue in their business. Now, I can tell you, I've done this for hundreds of women business owners. And I would say now about 90 to 95% of the time, the person has only 20% of their time and energy in their natural genius. 20%.
Yeah.
And so when they're able to see that, that actually is very eye-opening. And I'm including not just business time, I'm including personal time too, Tish.
Yeah. Wow. That's interesting.
And the goal over time when we work together is to flip that, is to get them 80% of their time into their natural genius. And that's part of our secret sauce.
Wow.
I mean, it's not a secret because I'm saying it, but
Yeah.
that's part of our unique ability, is being able to flip their time to get them from 20% to 80%.
I love that.
Have you ever gone to a networking event or a conference and found that although you made great connections and you walked away with a stack full of business cards, you still didn't have a real plan for how to get a good return on your investment of both time and money? Well, let me tell you, having a networking and sales planner is a way for you to be more intentional about the way that you network.
Hey, I'm Susan Gladstein. I'm a functional nutrition and metabolism specialist, and I got connected with Tish because she is a rock star at systems and sales. And so I downloaded the planner to help get my brain organized as I went through a rebrand and launched a new course. And it's really helped me sort of get things out of my head and onto paper so that I can actually do follow-ups and not just rely on my brain. So far it's rocking my world and making my business systems that were non-existent actually have some sort of structure. So I love it. It's amazing. And I'm so grateful that our paths have crossed.
I've been working with sales professionals for almost 15 years. And one of the things that I find is that when they don't have a plan, they do nothing. They sit at their desk and wonder what to do. Well, with this networking and sales planner, you have profit producing activities for every single day of the week. It tells you where to go, what to say, even gives you prompts as to how to interact with people that you don't know. If you're an introvert and you feel like this isn't for you, I have already thought of you because I understand exactly how introverts think. So this gives you the tools enabling you to be armed with words, with language, so that you can make your networking more profitable.
Hey everyone, Rachel Neighbors here from solo401k.com. And I wanted to take a moment to talk about how awesome this sales networking planner is that Tish put out. So as you can see, I have it on my Remarkable. That's my sort of e-ink planner. And this sales planner has been so helpful for me. So I'm an old school pay-per-click marketer. I do Google ads, Facebook ads, and I know how to turn advertising into profit. But I didn't know how to turn network sales into profit. And when I met Tish, this woman literally wrote the book on networking called, Networking is Not a One-Night Stand. And she's put that experience and that energy and those valuable tips into this networking sales planner. And I just think that it can be so powerful for you in your business. I know it's been really helpful for me and mine. One thing that Tish told me is, Rachel, when you meet someone, put them into your planner and then follow up with them like they're a lead that you've generated on Google Ads or that you followed up with or that you've generated on Facebook. And that has been so helpful and transformative in my business. So thank you, Tish, for this awesome planner.
Maybe you don't even like networking. You say things like, networking doesn't work. Well, let me tell you, when you have a plan in place, you have some intention, and you have the tools to be able to make it work, you will see a different result. My new networking and sales planner is a game changer. It's the difference between you going to an event, wandering around and walking away without any purpose and without any new money, and walking into an event with a plan, with a purpose, and being able to convert new clients into your business. No one wants to feel inauthentic and pushy or even salesy when following up. So frequently we just don't do it at all. Well, the profitable follow-up formula, which is in the back of your networking and sales planner, will give you the tools and the language and the frequency with which you should be following up so that it feels very authentic. It feels genuine and natural both to you and to the people that you're reaching out to. Go to tishtimes.com/planner to get your digital or physical version of your planner.
Hi,
my name is Cheryl James from CL James Consulting, and I just want to tell you a little bit about how awesome this networking sales planner is. I started intentionally networking at the beginning of this year, and I have been using my planner on a regular basis, not only to get inspiration, but to track the people I want to meet and the people I have met, and to make sure that I follow up with them from week to week. So if you are looking to network intentionally and hold yourself accountable, this planner is a must-have.
And once you get your planner, you'll also receive a video series that's going to teach you how to maximize your networking and how to use this planner to get the best result and best return on your investment of both time and money. If you are ready to stop wasting time with networking and turn your networking into a sales machine, then go to tishtimes.com/planner and grab your networking and sales planner.
You know, it's interesting. I've been actually studying that recently, and to see that you all are doing that. And I've had the honor and the privilege to see some of your clients that you worked with, you know, more recently beginning the process, and just seeing them come alive after they've had that initial, you know, few weeks with you all. So I know that it works. That much I definitely know. If there's anything different than what you said, is there one thing that you would say, if I could bottle this up and pour it over all of our clients for them to immediately see results in their, you know, in their time, in their team, in their business overall? Is there anything different you would say, or is it mostly about where they're spending their time and if they're getting outdoors? Is there anything different?
I feel like you're reading my mind or something. Mind reader, what's going on here? Because when I finished my comment, I was like, oh, I wish I had said this. And then you asked a question that leads me right into it.
Well, that's awesome.
It's amazing. So the one thing I would really emphasize is, and, you know, there's other models, like, you know, like you said, you're researching, there's other models that try to help people, you know, get into that trifecta, or that sweet spot of what you love best, what you're best at, and what drives revenue. What makes our system different from the Big Leap or some of these other models is that we focus significantly on what feeds them personally.
Yeah.
Because I'll tell you, the business owners that we meet that are exhausted, burned out, you know, treading water, and they're in that place where they've had so much success, they don't want it to fall apart, but it's not sustainable, and their relationships and their physical health and everything there's huge tension. And many of them have had a big wake up call.
Yeah. What's
happening is their personal life, their personal relationships, their health, some of these things that are the most important to us human beings are actually on the back burner for them.
Yeah.
Now, I want to emphasize and have such grace and compassion to everybody listening here. If this sounds like you are not waking up every day thinking, I'm going to put my closest relationships, my health on the back burner. I'm going to compromise these things. I'm going to, you know, make choices over top of these things. If you do feel that way, you probably feel some guilt about it, you know? And so I want you to know that I have so much compassion for you, because I know that it's not intentional. I know that you probably feel like you're obligated to do this and that you have to. And I want to tell you, to answer your question, Tish, is that when we say something matters, like our family, our health, but the business is got a priority over our own health and our own relationships.
Yeah.
What we call that is a say-do gap. The say-do gap, the gap between what we say and what we do. And again, it's not intentional. It's done out of obligation, or we think we have to.
Yeah.
And it is the source of the problem. It is the source of the exhaustion. Business owners are not, I truly believe this, and I've seen it over and over, that we're not burned out and feeling resentment and feeling fill in the blank because we're working too much. It's not about the hours worked. It's about the fact that these most important things are being unintentionally compromised, and there's a gap, there's a misalignment, there's a values gap.
Wow.
And that gets bigger and bigger and bigger over time. And that's what creates exhaustion, burnout, resentment. So that's why we focus so much on identifying what someone's deepest values are. And we design their time so that what matters to them and what is so deeply, deeply important for them in their life has to be at the center of the calendar.
Yeah.
It can't be compromised, because when it is, all those other challenging things happen. And when it's at the center of their calendar and they get into alignment with those things and they have the time to focus on them, their business becomes easier, their decisions become easier, they don't have to work so much, so hard,
Yeah.
and their business grows and their revenue grows because of it.
Wow. If someone is listening to this right now, Nadine, and they're saying, wow, I kind of see that coming. Maybe they're not all the way at the place that we're speaking of. How do we catch that faster? Is there something that we can be looking at and kind of seeing the signs that are on the horizon that we're headed right towards and get to it faster, get to that revelation a little bit faster?
There's many ways to see the signs. A very practical, tangible way is we actually have a quiz on our website that helps people see that. And so if someone's listening and you want to get this, it's ascendleadership.com/quiz. It takes 5 minutes to do. What it uncovers are your time leaks and your team leaks. Key time leaks are time guilt, overworking, and overthinking. And so that quiz, I recommend that you do that, and you're going to find out there's 3 different levels of what I'm talking about, and you'll see where you are, and it will give you some guidance on what to do about that. So that's a very tangible way. A second tangible way would be, actually, I would invite you to have a conversation with me.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that, oh yeah, I'm going to get on a conversation, I'm going to try to sell you all these programs. That's not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is I'm here to be a wake-up call for you. That's what I do for people. I help them get clarity. I help them get clarity with kindness, with compassion, with support and encouragement. And I call up the truth. I lift up the truth and help you see it. And it's up, of course, I can give you some guidance on what to do and how to do things differently. But ultimately, it's your life. It's your journey. I'm not here to tell you, oh yeah, I'm gonna, do all these things for you.
Yeah.
You need to be able to do it. But I absolutely can give you guidance. You have to walk your own steps. You just don't have to walk alone. So those are 2. And then I guess the third one is, another idea would be watch the signs and signals. Pay attention to the signals. Pay attention if you have children. Are they saying, mom, dad, whoever's listening to this, they're asking for you, they'd like to play with you or see you or talk to you, and you're saying, wait a minute, wait a sec. Are you double screening? Are you at home where you're with your partner and you have your laptop and your phone and you're looking at both things and your partner's trying to talk to you?
Yeah.
Is your partner saying, I wish I could see you more. I wish you were more present. I just don't feel you. Listen to the signs and the signals of the people who love you.
Love that so much. My goodness. I wish we had more time because this is such a rich conversation. I want to know from you, who did you have to become, Nadine, to achieve the level of success that you have? Because it sounds to me, I know personally, of course, that you've had your own wake-up call. You've gone through a lot of the things that you now teach. But who do you feel you had to become at the core to be able to help people the way that you do?
That's a really good question. I'd say I had to become a woman of integrity.
That's good.
Now, integrity could mean different things to everyone here. Integrity is my number one value, my number one core value. It has been my whole life, and from as long as I can remember. And I would define it as that I walk my talk. I do what I say. I keep my word. I keep my word to myself, and I keep my word to others. And there was a point when my dad passed away, and it was my wake-up call that I ended up starting this business, actually. It was a wake-up call that I was in my own say-do gap. I was out of integrity. Our son was 18 months old at the time. He's almost 18 now. And at the time, when my dad died, I was working 70-hour work weeks. I saw our son for about a half an hour a day. I would leave in the morning in the dark. I would come home in the dark. Lots of days I wouldn't eat lunch. I said my health was important. I said my family was important, but my actions spoke otherwise. I was very focused on business growth. Now I woke up every single day thinking I was doing what I needed to do. I needed to, I was a significant provider in my family. I was waking up thinking I had to show up. I had to meet goals. I had to, deliver results. And ultimately, who paid the price were the people that I loved most.
Yeah.
My own self. Well, I didn't show I loved myself because I wasn't taking care of my health.
Yeah.
But who I loved the most, my family, my son, my husband, my dad, my mom. Unfortunately, my dad passed away, so that was, he wasn't there anymore. But that was who I needed to be. I needed to become someone who was true and is true to my value of integrity that says, here's what I believe and this is what I'm going to do. Now, am I perfect? Am I like 100% star, big gold star, A+ student at this? No,
Yeah.
I'm not. But the majority of the time, I'd say I'm in the 90s.
Yeah.
And when I'm out of alignment, when I get out of alignment, it's like, oh, I got to recalibrate back to my value of walking my talk and being my word.
Yeah. And for those of y'all who are listening, I know Nadine, and you walk it probably 100%.
Oh, no.
I know in your mind, maybe not, but
I can tell you a few areas where I struggle.
Well, you're probably one of the most consistent person that I'm not going to ever worry if something is off or whatever. So I know from what I see for certain. As we wrap up, Nadine, can you tell us, number one, you mentioned the audience that you all serve, but if you can tell us who's your dream client, and then if you would also tell us how does that person reach you?
Sure. So our dream client is a female founder or entrepreneur who is running a business, ideally has team, at least 10 people, up to anywhere 300 to 400 people even. And who has, it's not having a hard time making revenue, like knows how to make money, right? The revenue is growing, the revenue is happening. And where she's really challenged is with her time and her team. And maybe even with her sales team, and trying to help motivate them. So that's our real ideal client, Tish. Even on a more granular level, we love working with clients that are competitive. Maybe they were an athlete or they love sports. So they've got that kind of competitive athletic edge. We really love when our clients have a love for nature and a love for the outdoors, because then they typically will embrace, that business strategy of nature being a core business strategy for growth. And they someone who loves being in nature and who is like athletic and, that kind of that like ambitious, go-getter powerhouse kind of person would really love to work with us.
Wonderful. And what's the best way for them to reach out to you?
You can go to our website. You can do that quiz that I told you earlier. There's also a contact form on our website that goes directly to me. So you can just go to our website, ascendleadership.com, and go to the contact page and send me a message, and I'd love to hop on. We'll have a coffee date. We'll connect on Zoom for 30 minutes and get to know each other. And I hope that you get some kind of clarity or some kind of, aha moment from talking with me. That would be incredible. I would really love that for you.
Wonderful. Well, I would say they probably already got an aha moment just in listening to this conversation, because you've dropped so many amazing, beautiful gems. So thank you so much for coming back. I know the audience loves you, and I just adore having you in our space anytime we get together. So thank you very much.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for asking the most intuitive questions.
You're so very welcome.
I really, truly had no idea where this would go. And I feel very inspired and energized, and I'm so glad to have been here. Thank you very much.
You are so welcome. So ladies and gentlemen, as you've heard this, go out and apply something you heard Nadine talk about today. And the interesting thing is, you may not realize all of what she talked about directly impacts the way that you sell. If you have all of these other things happening, you're not getting out into nature, you're not taking care of yourself, you're not paying attention to those signs, your bottom line is going to tell the truth. So listen, put something that you heard into practice in your business, and we'll see you back here next week.
Thanks for listening to the Sold Out Sales podcast. I would be so appreciative if you would show me and my amazing guests some love by leaving a review on your favorite podcasting platform. Also, go over to tishtimes.com/resource page and make sure you pick up your sales and networking handbook, especially for introverts. Also, I'd love to continue this conversation, so make sure you connect with me on Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. I'll see you back here next week.